Hi guys, and welcome to the second episode of my podcast. I'm Viola, I'm a photographer based in Austria, and today we're going to be talking something not as much photography related, and that is manifestation and journaling. So these two things kind of found me, or I found them, I don't know, when I quit my job, as I told you in the last episode, and I just want to dive into those a little bit more. Don't worry, it's not going to be like all woo and crazy. I'm not like completely obsessed with them, but I just wanted to share my experiences with you and maybe help some other people that are kind of overwhelmed with life right now. So yeah, let's get right into it. So, as I said, when I left my job, I had like a ton of feelings, good ones, bad ones, confusing ones mostly, and I was just not in the best place of mind, state of mind, whatever. And I was just generally really overwhelmed, and I just couldn't focus on anything for like the first day or two. And so I started, as anybody does that's overwhelmed, I feel like, cleaning up our apartment. And I found this old like journal notebook thing, and I opened it up and I saw like an entry from, I think it was like 2017 or 18. And I read it. It was only like a couple of lines long, and I was like, oh my god, like what person was I back then? It was absolutely crazy. Like the things I worried about, and basically then how far I've come, mind-blowing, literally mind-blowing. It's as if it's not even the same person. And so I kept on reading. There were only, I think, 10 pages filled, so like not a lot to read there, but I just read it and I felt like, why not start that up again? Because obviously it kind of made me feel a little bit better back then, and so maybe it's gonna help me now. And just spoiler, it did. So I just opened up the journal to the next empty page and just kind of brain dumped all of my thoughts out, and it just made me feel so much better. My head was instantly so much lighter. And so just writing things kind of like out of your head, like getting them out of your head and on a piece of paper. You don't even have to keep it, like throw it away, I don't care. But just writing them down and getting them out of your head, these confusing, bad, good, whatever thoughts, is so helpful. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, no matter if in like a personal or a business setting, just write down everything. And I suggest, or I recommend, either like rather doing it on like actual paper and with like a pen, because it kind of is more connected than just typing it into a computer. But yeah, so if you're feeling overwhelmed, try, you don't have to call it journaling, just call it, I don't know, writing stuff down, because I feel like journaling, when I think of that, I think of like little 12-year-old girls that are like, I don't know, this was my school day today, you know. So yeah, so that's not what I'm doing. I'm just kind of writing everything down. And so at the same time, I was looking on Pinterest a lot, obviously, as I do all the time actually, but there were like these quotes popping up, and I started kind of like collecting them into a board, and I just had these like inspirational quotes, nice photos, or like pictures and illustrations and stuff. And I just saved all of them and printed them out, and like cut them out literally as if I was a kindergarten child. But yeah, so I just collected all of those, cut them out, put them in like the back pocket of the notebook, and I still to this day am like kind of gluing in things like inspirational quotes and stuff whenever I like feel like it. Or I've been reading a lot, as I've mentioned, and I'm also just writing down quotes or like passages of books or anything that I just kind of like. And so it's not like the journaling stuff that's like, oh, hello dear diary, today I went to school and I had, I don't know, pancakes for lunch. I just kind of write whatever is on my mind. Like, it's not always in the evening. Sometimes I sit down in the morning and I write down something that I want to remember that I had that thought. Or I don't know, I read a book and I find this passage I really like, and then I just write it down, because yeah, and that's my diary entry or like journaling thing for the day. But where I'm actually going with this is that I also started writing down monthly goals. I started that in October, and I've been doing it ever since, and that actually has gotten me so much further. Like, seriously, it was absolutely crazy. So I started out writing, I think, 5 to 10 goals each month, and not even like big ones. Sometimes it was just like, take the clothes that I sorted out away, like don't leave them in the bottom of my closet, just give them away somewhere. So like it goes like this, or like, I don't know, what did I have, finish this and this book, or like easy things, you know, not like big goals. But I wrote them down into a list, and as I did them, I like crossed them off, and it made me feel, first of all, more productive, and second of all, I just actually got so much more done. So if you're struggling with being overwhelmed and not as productive because you are overwhelmed, then just start like writing your thoughts down and then kind of think of some things that you want to accomplish either this day, this month, week, year, I don't care, whatever. And that actually is gonna help you so much. I also have this app, I'm gonna put a screenshot here, that I really recommend. There's a hair flying around. I don't really know what it's called. I'm just gonna put it here. The app I'm talking about is just called To Do, and it's a white and blue icon with a blue check mark on a white box. Basically like this check to-do list thing. You can't sort it by like dates or days, it's just one to-do list. But what I usually do is on the Sunday, I think about what I have to do for that week and then just like dump all of my to-do list points in there and then just work them off through the week, and then I can actually see like how much I have accomplished, because if you like click that you're done, then it crosses it off, but it's still there, but you see that it's crossed off, you know, and that's very satisfying to me. So write that down in your journal, notebook, whatever, and also try that out, it's really great. But yeah, so that's kind of my thoughts on journaling. That's what I wanted to say about that. And then something that I feel like nowadays, like in this that girl culture, goes along with the journaling is manifesting. And so I also wanted to talk about that, and that part can get a little bit woo-woo, but I don't see it that way, because I feel like you can't, I don't know, like ask the universe for stuff. You just, okay, no, let me explain it this way. First of all, book recommendation, 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson. That's really great. And there's this quote that says, if you assume that the whole world like revolves around you and everything is in comparison to you, that would be like extremely selfish or just basically dumb, because why would the whole world exist just for you? And then another quote in that book was that, or was it from a different book? I don't remember. Anyways, but there was this quote that said that you yourself like are the universe, and you yourself are God, or like whatever you believe in. And so if you, that's just my theory, and if you basically ask the universe or what or whoever for anything that you want, you're basically asking yourself. And if you manifest something, you're just like pulling it out of your subconscious or putting it into your subconscious. And so I think that, let's say I want to make, I don't know, €1 million next year. If I just keep repeating to myself, I am going to make €1 million next year, then my brain is subconsciously or consciously, depending on how far along you are yet, it's just gonna make me do the right things. Obviously, it's not gonna happen magically, and I'm not just gonna like magically have like €1 million. But you just kind of subconsciously do the right things. Like you maybe see your business different, or maybe you work more towards it because somewhere in the back of your brain it says that you want to have €1 million and you're gonna get it by doing this. So that might be a little bit confusing, but that's just kind of my take on manifestation. So I feel like, or I think that you can literally achieve almost anything you want, like that's kind of in your power, if you just believe in yourself. And as I've mentioned in the first episode, I'm going to do another episode on confidence, and that's going to tie in with that, because we're all not enough like confident in ourselves. But yeah, so that's my take on manifestation. And you're just gonna like do the right things, and you don't have to like even manifest it, like tell yourself. You can also just write literally a to-do list or like a goal of €1 million, so let's just stay with that, and then you're just gonna break it down into smaller goals, and then in this way you're gonna do like consciously the right things. But yeah, so that's kind of my take on manifesting. And something that also plays in with that is another woo-woo thing, and it's angel numbers. I've mentioned it in the first episode, and it's basically like the sequence of numbers, like 222, 777, anything like that. And I think that angel numbers are kind of similar in the way the manifesting is, because if you see, I see 222 like a lot everywhere, and it basically means right place, right time. And if I see 222 anywhere, and I know that it means right place, right time, and then I know that I will be more confident in the things I'm doing because angel numbers are telling me that it's the right place, right time, subconsciously I think, or like I'm sure of actually, that I am looking for 222. And if I'm focused on 222, I'm gonna see it everywhere, because you could see any number everywhere, and if you focus on like red cars on the road, you're only gonna see red cars, you know. So if you focus on that number and it has a beneficial meaning to you, you're gonna see it everywhere, and it's gonna also subconsciously like affect you, you know. I hope this doesn't sound absolutely crazy, but I'm sure you get what I mean, you know. So yeah, that's kind of my take on journaling, manifestation, and angel numbers. And what does all that have to do with you? You probably ask yourself. So number one, as I said, if you're feeling overwhelmed, no matter if personal or private, no matter if personal or business feelings, write them down. It's gonna make you feel so much better. Number two, write down your goals and to-do lists and everything you can cross off, and like see your process, and also have actual goals that will get you to a goal that you have that's like bigger. So if you want €1,000,000, then you're gonna have to work a little bit more probably than you do now. And so just write goals according to that. And number three, positive thoughts and like affirmations and manifestations, whatever, they're not some woo-woo shit. It's just kind of you believing in yourself, and you believing that you can actually achieve things by just telling yourself them, because I read this somewhere, and a successful person doesn't need them to tell themselves that they're successful. They already know it. So you just need to pull that successfulness or whatever out of your subconscious into your conscious mind, and then just know it, and then you are kind of, you know what I'm getting at. So yeah, I think that's enough chit chat for me today. As I mentioned in the beginning, this is kind of a different episode. I still hope you enjoyed it. I just wanted to put my things out there, my thoughts, I mean, because as I said, I kind of want this to be a bit more personal, and that's just something that has been personally affecting me, or like I've been thinking about that a lot. So I just wanted to share that with you, and I would be really interested to know your thoughts on all of that, because I know that angel numbers are kind of getting more popular, like through Pinterest. That's where I found them too. And so yeah, I'm just really interested to know your thoughts on all of this. Also manifesting, journaling, affirmations, haven't really talked about that, but that's basically like repeating the same thing over and over again until it comes true. I don't know, I haven't learned that much about that yet, but yeah, I would just really like to know your thoughts, and I really hope you enjoyed this little bit of a different episode. Next one is going to be more photography specific again, probably the one about confidence, since I've been talking about it so much. But yeah, I'll hope to see you in the next episode. If you're not already, don't forget to subscribe down below and leave a like if you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.